Sup players and welcome to this video. I'm CCG and in today's video we're going to take a look at my updated Yubel deck profile post Duelist Advance. Yubel just received some new support and yeah, without further ado, let's get into this. We're starting off with the main deck and we're starting with the monster cards first, guys. Which I will say I'm playing a big amount of in this deck. Starting out with one copy of Yubel. Basically, best ratios. In my opinion, some people I know play two of this, but just play one. Especially since we only have one Phantom of Yubel available to us. I hope that with the ban list season now, I hope that we will receive some cards for the Yubel archetype. I hope that Phantom of Yubel will go down to 2. Because right now, Yubel isn't a deck that is getting played that often. I'm not saying that they should completely, what's it called? Remove Phantom of Yubel from the ban list, but put her at 2 wouldn't do anything to the format right now. Then I'm playing one copy of Terra Incarnate, again the upgraded form. I know some people also play the Ultimate Nightmare, but I feel like that it will just become too bricky. Then I'm playing 2 copies of Spirit of Yubel, where some people also play 3 copies or even 1 copy. I just like to play 2 copies of this card, okay? Then I'm playing 3 copies of Samsarity Lotus. I will say, in my opinion, the best normal summon in the entire deck. Alongside with 2 copies of Grave Squirmer, or Gruesome Grave Squirmer, which is one of the best recycle cards in the entire deck as well. Alongside with double Beckoning Beast and 1 Chaos Summoning Beast. The reason for why I play these ratios, and also the reason for why a lot of Yubel players plays these ratios, is because that if you start out with opening of the Spirit Gates and activate that to search Beckoning Beast, and you normal summon out Beckoning Beast, you cannot search another Beckoning Beast, you can search another opening, or you could even search Chaos Summoning Beast. So the reason behind why I'm playing only 2 Beckoning Beast and 1 Summoning Beast is because of the consistency in the entire deck. Because of the ratio here, you actually have access to more names rather than playing 3 copies of Beckoning Beast as some people do. Then for the last, I will say it's not a non-engine card, it is an engine card, 1 copy of Shavara. I know that this card is a 2, but I really like the idea of only playing 1. Also because that you don't need to see it. Because you're searching it with your Yama many times. So yeah. Moving into the other engines that we're playing starting out with 3 copies of Fiendsmith Engraver. I will say Fiendsmith will be the best engine to run in Yubel. I know it locks us out from a lot of the extra deck because the Fiendsmith engine is really big. It's really big to just have room in the extra deck for. The extra deck becomes really tight with the Fiendsmiths. Then I'm playing 1 copy of Lacrima. Basically, I will say most of the times when I start off with this, or what's it called? One of the other normal summons in the deck. For example, if I start off with the Lotus and Lacrima, I will say the best engine to do is summon out Lacrima first, make full Fiendsmith engine, because you can go into your full Yubel engine via the Fiendsmith engine. Then I'm pulling 1 copy of Fabled Lurry, because why not? And now the last engine monsters before we go into hand traps and non-engine and stuff like that. I'm playing 2 copies of Buio the Dawn's Light. And this is the new, I will say, unofficial Yubel support that we have just received out of Duelist Advance. I know some people play this card at 3, but after some comboing, I actually figured out that I don't need to play 3 copies of this. I only need to basically, and in some scenarios, I don't even need to play this to summon out the new Ancient Fusion monster. But I would say if I had room to it, like in this deck right now, I'm playing 50 cards in total. If I had room to this, I would definitely bump this up to 3 because you need to see it to practically use the engine. So yeah. But that was everything for the main deck monsters, guys. Now let's go into the hand traps quickly before we continue the deck profile. So for the hand traps, guys, I'm playing a big amount of non-engine hand traps. To begin off, I'm playing 2 copies of Ghost Bell because Fiendsmith and stuff like that, graveyard reliant decks. Double Ghost Ogre, this card, I'm beginning to play this more often again because there has been a dead period right now where you don't need to play Ghost Ogre, but now we are kind of getting back to a format where you actually need to play it. Then I'm playing 3 copies of Ash Blossom, obviously, why not? 3 copies of Droll, obviously, and triple Fuvelos. I will say, I know there's a lot of people that is in the conflict that, yeah, Yubel is not good right now because it loses really hard to the multi-army cards, but again, well, there are still other decks that does the same. And in my opinion, I will say if you just play the same cards, you know when to, play around those cards. But yeah, that is just my opinion. Moving into the spells now, guys. We're using 3 copies of Nightmare Throne, the best, one of the best spells in the entire deck, alongside with double Nightmare Pain. The reason for why I'm playing 2 Pain here is because that I feel like that in some situations I feel like if I go against Mitsurugi Raizeel, they're going to make Detonator and then they can pop this, and then I won't have any ways to retrieve my my Nightmare Pain, so that's the reason for why I'm playing 2 copies. Also because of Ghost Ogre and other cards that can pop the card. So I'm just being more cautious and saying to myself, okay, I want to make sure that I have a way to actually get to Nightmare Pain if it gets destroyed. I know one of those ways are in opening of the Spirit Gates. If you guys don't know the secret effect of Spirit Gates, well, if you control level 10 Fiend monster, you can target a continuous spell in your graveyard and add it to your hand, I believe is the effect, the correct effect. Now, for the last spells, guys, we're playing 1 copy of 1 for 1 because it is one of the best cards. We're playing 1 copy of Tract to be able to use our Fiendsmith engine and use the copy of Engraver to search. We're playing 1 copy of Called by the Grave. I love the old art, that's why I'm playing it. 1 copy of Talents, and last but not least, the last spell card, 1 Mutinity in the Sky. The unofficial Yubel support hits again. And I love this spell card because you can, with this card, you can basically make this array with this card as well. So if you have this card, if you have access to it, and the imperm your sequence, for example, you can activate this if you have the right materials in the graveyard and summon out this array no matter what. And that is why I feel like that this engine is going to change how we are going to play Yubel in the future. And I love it a lot. But yeah, moving into the traps now, guys. We are using 1 copy of Chamber. Again, I will say I love the version where you have to revive back Rage. I have tried out a little bit with the Escape version, but I don't like it that much. And that is just personal preferences. 1 Paradise, because it is just a great interruption on your opponent's side of the time of the field and stuff like that. And triple Imperm. So to round out the hand traps a little bit. But yeah, guys, that's basically everything for the main deck. Let's go into the extra deck. Moving into the extra deck, guys, starting off with 1 copy of Phantom of Yubel. Right now at 1, maybe next ban list at 2, or 3, who knows? I don't know. Maybe they're going to hit the Fiendsmith engine once again. And speaking of the Fiendsmith, we start off with 1 copy of High King Caesar. Just to, the big bad wolf in the Yu-Gi-Oh community right now. The TCG exclusive Aerial Leader and Necroquip, which is I really love to play these cards because if I get interrupted, I only have access to my Fiendsmith engine. I'm making Aerial Eater because it can give me access to the Lotus. That can give me access to the full Fiendsmith engine, and that's the reason for why I'm playing it, and also the reason for why a lot of Yubel player plays it. Then we're playing one Moon, and now moving into the real Fiendsmith monsters. One Requiem, one Sequence, one Disarray. And I've actually changed a little bit because I had thoughts about playing what's it called, Verudras, the level 10 Xyz Negate. But I actually changed him to Agnum Day. And the reason for why I have done this is because that I love the synergy with Agnum Day with the Fiendsmith engine. Because if you just summon out your Fiendsmith engine, no matter what, and make this array and go into battle phase, and want to go into battle phase, you can use Sequence plus this array to go into Agnum Day. This array can then, remove a threat from the field, and then you can move into battle phase and attack with, first of all, this array, and then, or not this array, Agnum Day. And then Agnum Day will activate to revive back this array, and if you attack your opponent directly with these attacks, you're going to attack your opponent for, for 6,400 points. That is a lot. That is a lot of damage right there. Which basically gives them only 1,600 life points left, and if you have another monster on the field, for example, if you have cards like Yama on the field, you just win at that point. I'm also playing one copy of Rage because you know the stats right there. One copy of McGregor. One copy of SP, Little Knight. I love that I finally got this in QCR. It has also taken a little bit of time to get my hands on that. One copy of Abao. And last but not least, the last, again, unofficial Yubel support. A lot of people dislike this card and doesn't play it. But in my opinion, I will say I love how this card works. It works like Unchained Abomination. And that is one copy of Loose the Dusk Dog. This card is really cool to think about. Basically, guys, if you don't know the card, it requires 3 Fiend or Fairy monsters in your graveyard, which means that obviously you have to summon it out with either Sequence or Mutinity in the Sky. But basically, you can send, once per turn, you can send a Fiend monster from your deck to the graveyard, target a card your opponent controls, and destroy it. If another card on your side of the field, except in the damage step, I believe, is destroyed by a card effect, you can just target one card your opponent controls and destroy that. So it basically pops again and again. So yeah, that's why I actually decided to play it. If I shouldn't play it, I would probably put the Rudras back into the deck. But basically, guys, I will say, in general, I love how this deck works with the new unofficial support. And yeah, let me know down below in the comments if you have any suggestions what I can change in this list. I'm playing right now 50 cards. I have plans about playing a pure version of this. Right now I'm just working on the build. But I do have thoughts about making a pure version of this because there are some secret tech cards that I want to try out. But yeah, guys, that was everything for this video. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.